Today in this video lecture, we are going to study about area vector and electric flux. So let's start with the area vector. As we know, area is a scalar quantity, but here we will see area is a vector quantity actually. So let's start. Here in this diagram, I have taken three axes. The first one is x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, and I have placed a square in the xy plane. Okay, and we will find the area of this square. So area AB cross AD, this is a cross product actually. So what is the length of A? Length of side, that is your A. All these sides are having A length. So substitute the value of AB and AD, you will get A square. That is the magnitude of the area. But now we have to find the direction of the area. So to find the direction of the area, we can use the right hand rule. According to the right hand rule, if we placed our hand, our palm along the AB axis and turn the finger, curl the finger toward AD side, so that time your thumb will points toward the upside, toward this side along K directions. If you place your hand on the plane and curl your finger towards AD side from AB to AD side, so your thumb will represent that direction. So this is your thumb is upward side and that is your K. Along Z axis K direction is there. So that's why here I wrote K. K cap is the direction of area. But this is not only the case. We can even take this area vector even downward side. If we are taking this downward side, so that time what will come? K cap will come, and here negative sign will come. So when you have a two-dimensional body, there will be two area vector, and that two area vector we can draw perpendicular to the plane. Area vector is perpendicular to the plane or perpendicular to the surface. So either we can draw the area vector towards upward side and downward side. This is only the case when you have two-dimensional body. Okay, so this is the another example of area. Here I have three axes again, x, y and z, and we want to find the area vector of a ring. I placed a ring on the xy plane. Now it is on xz plane. This is xz plane. So again we want to find the direction. So direction, we can draw two direction. One direction we can draw perpendicular to the plane toward upside, toward y-axis, and one direction we can draw downward side. So if you are taking the upward side direction, you will write J. If you are taking this direction, you will write minus J. So both perpendicular direction are correct for two-dimensional surface. Is that open surface? We also call two-dimensional surface as a open surface. Examples of two-dimensional shape is ring, square and the rectangular surface, etc. So in that way we can draw two area vector that is perpendicular to the surface. But if you are solving any numerical, so that time one time you have to consider one numerical problem you have to consider only one side direction. Like earlier you are taking upward direction, and in the same numerical you are taking the downward direction, so this thing will not be correct. In one kind of numerical problem you should follow the same rule, either upward either downward direction. So now again we will take the example how to represent area vector. Here we have a surface, and this is the surface area of this surface, that is S. Let us consider a small portion of that surface and let the area of that surface is ds. Let us the area is ds. So now how to write in the general term this area vector? As we know, area vector, or in this case we will call it as a unit vector, because n cap we know this is unit vector and we cannot call it as a area vector also. So n cap, as we remember, if you remember your 11th class, there was a unit vector. Unit vector is a area, this is unit vector, and ds is the area. So area in the vector form divided by magnitude form. Unit vector is equal to vector quantity divided by its magnitude. So from here you can write ds is equal to unit vector and ds. In that way we can also define the unit vector or area vector. Next, for 3D surfaces, how to represent area vector for 3D surfaces? 3D surfaces like closed surface, and in that case area vector you will always draw outward side, outward normal. Let's take some examples. Let us consider we have a spherical body, and how to represent the area vector. So always we will draw a perpendicular on the surface of a spherical body to represent the area vector, like that. Similarly, for a cylindrical body, if you have a cylindrical body, so how to represent the area vector for a cylindrical body? We will draw a area vector always outward side. So if you are taking cross section area, so that time you will draw the area vector outward side like that, perpendicular to that surface. Similarly, perpendicular on the cross section. And if you are taking this surface, so that time also perpendicular and outward side. Here this is, you are supposing this area, so always outward side you have to draw the area vector. This is the example of cylinder. Now if you have a cubical or cuboidal body, so in case of cube, again you will draw a area vector outward side of the cube, and that should be the normal. So we can draw area vector here, 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 and back side of this surface and in front side of this surface. Cube have 6 faces, so on all the 6 faces we have to draw the area vector normal and outward side. Now the next term is electric flux. The number of field line passing normally through an area is known as electric flux. Let us consider we have an area and we have applied the electric flux. So electric flux lines are passing through. The number of field line passing normally through an area. So how many field lines are passing? 4 field lines are passing. So it means flux is 4. So flux is the number of field lines passing normally through an area. Now we will consider some example of electric flux. In the first diagram, this is your first diagram, we have a area, we have a rectangular body having area A, and we place that body in uniform electric field E. So now we will calculate here the flux. So in the first diagram there are 3 lines are passing through this area, 1, 2 and 3. The flux is 3. So it means flux depends on the electric field lines. Now in the next diagram, the second diagram, count the number of field lines passing through the area, both having the same area. This and this plates have same area. So in this case, if you count the number of field lines, these are 8 field lines. So flux will be 8. It means flux is directly proportional to the electric field line passing through that area. Next example we'll take. Here we will prove the electric flux also depend on the area. So you can see here we have 2 areas, 2 plates. First one having area A1 and the second plate having area A2. You can see in the diagram the area of plate A2 is greater than A1. If you count the field line passing through the area 1, these are only 1. First one, second one, third one. Fourth one also touching, but we are taking here, suppose 3 field lines are crossing through it, crossing properly through it. So flux will be 3. And in this case, the field lines are passing 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So flux lines are passing 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 7 field lines are passing through it and the flux is 7. So in this case you can see area also matter in case of flux. Flux also depend on the area. If area will be large, so more field line will cross and the flux will be more. So it means flux also depends on area. More the area, more field line will cross, more E will pass and more the flux. So more will be the flux. Now the SI unit of the electric flux. Here, what is the SI unit of electric flux? But before that, we will discuss one more case. Let us consider. Here, you have a rectangular slab, and let us consider the area vector of this slab is toward this side. We have considered area toward this side. Let the area is S. And now we'll place uniform electric field lines, but now the angle is different. Let us consider the field lines are entering like that. This is the electric field. So what is the angle between the two? The angle forming by electric field lines are theta. So now what will the flux? Flux is the product of electric field, dot product of electric field and the area. So let us consider here area is A. This is area A of this rectangular plate. So E dot A, dot product of the both. So what is dot product of EA? EA cos theta. And what is theta? Theta is the angle between electric field and the area vector. This is your area vector. So flux is the product of E and A. Okay, and on which factor it depends? The flux depend on the first one, the electric field. More the number of field lines, more will the flux. Second one is more the area through which the field lines are crossing. More area means more field line will cross. So it depends on these two parameters. Along with it, it depends on the angle between area vector and the electric field. So that's why flux is equal to EA cos theta. Now next is the SI unit of electric flux. Phi is equal to EA cos theta. For electric field, we can write E is equal to F by Q. So SI unit of force is Newton. For charge it is Coulomb, and area is meter square, and there is no unit for cos theta. So this formula of flux is only valid when you have a uniform electric field. If you don't have uniform electric field, so in that case this formula is not valid. For non-uniform electric field, we will use the Gauss law. So in the next video lecture, we will discuss Gauss law. Okay, and one more thing, we will find two numerical problem based on that. So in this case, in this diagram, how will you find the electric flux? You can see two diagrams. In the first diagram, if we want to find flux, so phi, what is E? E and A. So flux is the dot product of E dot A, E dot A, and along with cos theta. So what is theta here? If you see A and E having the same direction, so theta will be 0. So in this case, EA cos 0, your flux will be EA. Similarly, the direction of electric field line may be opposite. So in that case, angle will be 180. And in that case, flux will be EA, but minus 1 EA in the opposite side. And in this case, area vector we have to draw. Electric field line direction is this side and area vector. And for two-dimensional body, area vector is always perpendicular. So if you want to draw the area vector, we have to draw it upward side, perpendicular to the upward side, or downward side. So always this will form a 90-degree angle. and theta 90 degree, it means your flux is 0. So when the area between when the angle between electric field and the area vector is 90 degree, so in that case flux will be 0. So all these formulas, especially phi is equal to E dot A, is valid when you have a uniform electric field. If we have a non-uniform electric field, then we have to deal with different formula, that is Gauss law. So in